be more masculine, to play both roles.
Yeah, she had to.
5 days out of the week. It's like, well, I see where she's coming from, but I always wondered, what would I turned out like if I came out this good right now? And I'm not saying I'm like fucking like god tier or whatever, but I think I'm doing a pretty all right for myself.
Hell yeah.
But I always wonder, how would I turn out if I was in a traditional family in comparison to being raised by my mom by herself? Because the main thing I got out of being raised by my mom was independence.
Yeah.
Like she said right now on the phone call where she was like, guys are going to do what they want regardless, blah, blah, blah. I mean, yeah, that is true. I did what the fuck I wanted to do. But I also did it to an extent where I wasn't going to get my mom in trouble with the law or, inconvenience her leaving work or whatever the fuck. That
was kind of in the back of your mind a little bit. Yeah.
So, I don't know. David, how do you feel? Do you feel like you would have been raised better if your parents were split up? Because I know your parents and Ariel, I guess this go back to you. But if your parents were split up, do you think the dynamic of how you were raised would be different? And if so, how?
Yeah, low-key, I feel like if I was like that, I don't know, that's hard to tell. Just because my dad's not like a real mean person, so he would never just like take his anger out on me like that. So I don't think like I would get some of those toxic traits, like when you're just screaming, you're calling women outside their name. So I don't think that would happen, but I guess maybe learning how to love, or I probably wouldn't love as hard as I do because I have both my parents. Like if I didn't have both of them,
for sure.
like I wouldn't want to, maybe I would be just an asshole. And I'd just be like dogging girls because that's how it goes. I don't have both sides giving me, hey, you shouldn't treat a girl like that. And then, dad's like, hey, yeah, you really shouldn't, or whatever it is in the back of your mind. I remember, when I asked my dad, when I was first going to get a girlfriend, I asked my parents, I was like, yo, can I get a girlfriend? And my mom was like, go ask your dad. And he was like giving me the talk, yo, you got to respect women, boom, boom, boom,
and
all this stuff. So
I had a completely different conversation with my dad.
Yeah,
like,
dog
he was
women.
like, yo, bro, you got to toss these bitches up and shit. I was like,
yeah, dog
cool.
women.
Like growing up.
Yeah, yeah.
Growing up as
it's a numbers game.
Growing up as
Quit being a
legit, like.
Take that shit somewhere else.
Growing up as legit, I was in that mindset where it's like, all right, cool, everyone around. But it's funny too, because a lot of people I grew up with like without their dads in their lives, and everybody was in that mindset. And I don't know if they were in the same dynamic with their parents as I was, where my dad was always in my ear talking about, yeah, you gotta be fucking these bitches and shit like that. Fuck these hoes ain't shit, blah blah blah. And I'm like, all right, cool. I'll go ahead. I gotcha. Taking notes and shit.
Check.
No,
Maria,
I don't know, dude.
Savannah.
Well, they say we actually do the complete opposite of what we're told. So in that sense, right? I mean,
wait, real quick, because
actually, you know what? Yeah,
scroll up.
Let's go because I didn't even see what.
Scroll up.
What is
to
this?
KP. So
Okay.
What,
go ahead.
What do y'all want women to bring to the table? I always see y'all ask this question, but I've never heard y'all state what you're looking for. Well, that's a damn good question. It's a very easy question.
There's a bunch of just.
That's a very easy question.
There's a bunch of basic levels.
We'll go left to right.
KP. Oh, okay. Who's left? I can't.
Oh shit. Ariel can be left. Go ahead.
That's cool.
All right. So it's very, very simple to understand a man, KP. Look, I'll tell you this, right? And we don't ask for much. All we ask is for respect, nurturing,
Caring.
protect our soul. And that's really it.
And listen.
And be cooperative.
And see, a lot of that goes back to a good word that I like to use is cater.
Cater, because not only to you, but also to in a sense, like if you're a man, as a man, you bring over your friends, like you cater to them as well, not just you.
It's the whole dynamic of it. And see, women, they like to deal with the idea of, I'll just use this as an example, but this is what they do with that situation of what do they bring to the table. A lot of women would want to say, I want to be a wife, but they're not already doing the things that they need to do to be a wife. You're not giving the caring. You're not giving the supportiveness. You're not doing all the other things that you should be doing to be a wife, but you're saying, hey, wife me up. I'm ready. I'm over here. But you're still outside in the streets doing this and doing that.
Well, you're not showing any of that.
Exactly.
But David, to that point, let's say even if they are doing that kind of stuff, they're just doing it to the wrong kind of men because they like so what somebody said earlier in the chat where they're talking about keeping their body counts low despite the fact that they're out here trying to catch a man. I was like, bro, you should be attracting a man. You shouldn't be trying to catch a man.
Yeah, and that goes back to like what he said. He goes, if the man thinks you're worth it, he's gonna wait. If you want him